Welcome to The Other Side of the Map, a podcast where we share the real life stories of immigrants in our country, from the challenges they face to learning more about their cultures. I'm your host, Michael Abatello, and join us every week as we together explore what it means to build a new life far from home and how this diversity shapes our country. So sit back, listen, and discover what life looks like on the other side of the map. Millions of immigrants call the United States home. Some have gained legal status, while others live in the shadows, deported, denied entry, or constantly fearing separation from their families. Their struggles reveal the emotional and social struggles that come with seeking a better life in a country that often feels both welcomed and unwelcome at the same time. Many people who attempt to enter the United States face overwhelming challenges long before they ever have the chance to seek citizenship. The journey itself can be dangerous. Thousands risk their lives crossing deserts, rivers, or relying on smugglers who may exploit or abandon them. According to the International Organization for Migration, at least 686 migrants died or went missing along the United States-Mexico border in 2022, making it the deadliest land migration route in the world. For those who survive the journey, the hardships don't end at arrival. Many live in constant fear of deportation, struggle to find safe housing or fair employment, and face discrimination and language barriers. Even after years of working, paying taxes, and building families, the process of gaining legal status or citizenship can take decades, filled with complex paperwork, high costs, and limited opportunities. For countless immigrants, the dream of becoming a United States citizen remains distant, not because of a lack of effort, but because of a system that often makes it nearly impossible. Today, we'll hear from someone who has lived through that struggle firsthand. Our guest, who came to the United States from Colombia, faced incredible danger and uncertainty on her journey to find safety and opportunity. Through her experience, we'll gain a deeper understanding of what so many immigrants endure, the fear, the hope, and the determination it takes not only to reach the United States, but to eventually call it a home as a citizen. Thank you for being here and being willing to share your story with us. So, what made you feel like leaving home was your only option?
Yes, actually, living home was our only option because I used to live with my mom and my dad and my two brothers. And my dad didn't find a job in Colombia, so he had to borrow some money from drug dealers. And at the end, he couldn't pay it, so they were after us. They almost kidnapped me once. So my dad had no other option than to run away. And we ran away to Mexico. So that was our only option.
Can you describe what the journey itself was like? The conditions, the people you traveled with, and the moments that stand out the most in your memory?
Oof, yes, absolutely. That was tough times. We went to Mexico. We stayed in Mexico 1 week, but obviously the money wasn't enough. So it was something that he had to do. So he had the idea of crossing the border. So he spent the last money that he had and he paid some coyotes. Coyotes are the people who you paid and they cross you. They do what they can, but they don't do the whole thing. Anyway, scary part is when we were crossing the border. I was about 16, 17 years old, and my dad and my mom were taking care of my two little brothers. So they left me a little bit behind, and I was drowning. So that was the scariest thing in my life. We were able to cross it, and after we crossed it, the police or immigration from the United States started to chase us, and the coyotes left us alone. So that was a real journey. Scary, very, very scary.
Was there ever a moment when you thought you might not make it?
Yeah, especially when I was drowning. I thought there is no way I'm going to make it. This is the end of me. But I guess it wasn't my day. Here I am.
So, once you first arrived to the United States, what was your first impression?
These people are so mean. They were really seriously mean. They took us in a room. We were wet. They didn't even let us dry. They did not ask us if we were hungry. We were there for hours and hours and hours until somebody came and they took my dad and my mom, and I stayed with my two little brothers until finally they gave us a sandwich and they gave us some clothes to change. But I think I caught a cold too. So it was really bad. I really thought about these people. They don't even have mercy with children. That's what I thought about them.
How did you manage to build a life here while still living in fear of being caught or deported?
Very, very tough. We stayed in Texas for a while. When we left from there, they let us come into United States, but they put a bracelet in my dad's ankle. Once they put the bracelet in my father, it stayed with him almost a year, and he couldn't leave the state. He couldn't leave a perimeter because the ankle will sound and it will alert the authorities that he was running away or something. I don't know, something like that. Anyway, the point is we were always living in fear because we couldn't leave certain area, because I used to get out of the house. I didn't even continue school over here because I was scared that they will catch me and they will deport me. I don't know, it was just scary, very, very scary for a long time.
What would you say was the biggest obstacle you had to face in this process?
The biggest obstacle is that I couldn't help my family. I couldn't continue my studies. I started to continue my education, I would say 3-4 years later. I couldn't even learn English. Not a lot of people spoke Spanish. And every time I went to store, I didn't know what to say because they couldn't understand Spanish. And I didn't speak English, but nobody would give me the opportunity to learn English.
How long did it take from where you first arrived to when you were finally granted citizenship?
Oof! That was a long time. After a while, after like 3-4 years, my dad was able to apply for asylum, and they granted him the asylum. But with that, we couldn't be citizens. So after a while, my father decided, when he found a job, and he decided we have to get the real papers here. So he had to pay a lawyer. We're talking about my dad spent nearly $50,000 to pay a lawyer just to get us the real papers. And after the lawyer got us the real papers, I have to wait 5 more years to be a citizen. But within those 5 years, I was able to go to school and learn English. Not that I speak English well, but I was able to learn a little bit of English, enough to pass the citizenship, and I did.
Looking back now, after everything you went through, how has this experience changed your view of the United States?
Changed my view. Okay. Although at those times they were very, very tough with us, very mean with us, this country gives you the opportunity that other countries don't give you. They offer us job. In Colombia, if you're 35 or more than 35 years old, you can find a job. Over here, even if you're 70, you apply and they give you a job. As long as you are honest and hard worker, this country gives you a lot of opportunities.
And finally, what message would you want to share with others who might be going through a similar struggle?
Tough it up. There is a light at the end of the tunnel, and sooner or later, this country will give you what other countries can offer.
And that brings us to the end of today's episode. I want to take a moment to thank our guest for opening up and sharing such a deeply personal story. It takes a lot of strength to revisit painful memories and speak honestly about the challenges of coming to this country and building a new life. Her story reminds us that behind every immigration debate and statistic, they are real people who have sacrificed everything for a chance at safety, opportunity, and belonging. This episode was produced by Michael Abatello, with special thanks to our guest who helped bring this conversation to life. I'd also like to acknowledge the background music and sound effects you heard throughout today's episode, licensed through freesounds.org. If you'd like to share your thoughts, feedback, or even your own story, we'd love to hear from you. You can reach us through an email at abbati68@students.rowan.edu. And don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode. Next week, we'll be sitting down with another guest who faced a very different yet equally significant journey. Someone who fled their home country as a child and is now helping others navigate the immigration system. A thrilling and powerful story you won't want to miss. Once again, thank you for listening, for caring, and for taking the time to understand the stories that shape who we are as a nation. I'm Michael Abatello, and this has been The Other Side of the Map. Until next time.